I was having a class this morning with a boy who lives in Jerusalem, Israel. He's preparing this exam to go to UCLA next year. And I asked him, what is your country's greatest weapon in this war? And he said, we're not afraid to die. He didn't say our snipers, our tanks, our military, our bullets, the quality of our hardware, our lasers. We're not afraid to die. And other countries are that could easily defeat us, but they're not willing to pay the price. And he gave me a scenario that if the USA were to go to war against Israel, USA would win. But using Israel's high tech, they would lose the war, but probably they would nuke and biologically and chemically hit cities in the United States. They could penetrate maybe Idaho, Iowa, Kansas City in such a way that it would not only kill poor people and cost poor people maybe to pay more taxes after to recuperate after the war, but it would trickle up to the rich people. It would immediately affect their quality of life. Not like COVID-19, stay home for a year, but it would cause them maybe to not have houses to live in for 2 years. It would affect their children and their grandchildren. Their ranking in society might go from having 200 million to having 100,000. It would be brutal. Even if they had food, poor people might try to rob their food. The security guards would just give up and walk away. And when rich people are afraid that they are going to personally pay a price, they do not order an attack, even if they could win. They don't want to pay any price. Okay? I mean, the USA is always like the toughest country around. We send our Navy SEALs, think about it, to bumfuck third world countries where our helicopters go 200 miles into the country. They don't even have radar to detect us. We kill, we kidnap, and we blow stuff up. And we come back and we tell ourselves our SEALs or our Green Berets are heroes and we're the toughest mothers around. But we've never sent our SEALs into China or Russia where the tough guys are. We send them into, we could send in the Boy Scouts with a good humor man to do that stuff. We don't need Green Berets and SEALs getting medals after, because we've never really had a war against tough guys. We don't know what we could do. And I think to a certain degree we're afraid to die, not to die, but to suffer. Therefore we allow other countries more or less to do what they want to do, even if we could defeat them, because we know they could penetrate us and make us pay a price. USA should not attack Israel. We're friends, and I think personally I agree with everything Israel is doing. But as a case in point, Israel's super weapon is they're not afraid to die. We, on the other hand, as Americans, I think we are soft and we are afraid to die. And if we felt we had a just reason to go to war against someone, but we would have to pay a price, we would ask, who's going to pay the price? Only the poor go to war? Okay, only the poor will pay taxes to pay for that war and recuperate after? Okay. But if we feel it's going to trickle up and it's going to affect me and my $7 million house in Long Island, it's going to affect my grandkids, it's going to affect my kids, we will not go to war. We're just not ready to give up any of the creature comforts we have. And we'd rather look the other way when someone we could easily defeat is doing shit maybe to someone else. Okay, for example, what Russia does in Ukraine. Okay, what's happening in the Middle East, I'm okay with that. I got no problem with that. But I wonder, why doesn't the USA go after Russia? We could win, but we're afraid we'd have to pay a price. And I think that's why we won't do it. And we don't know if we could do it, because our Navy SEALs, we've never tested them in a real war. Going into third world, Arab countries is like war games. It's bullshit. It's a no thinker. So we don't know if we really are as tough as we think we are. A lot of people join the military because they want free college, they want to learn how to fly, they want to flex their muscles. We don't know if we really have the heart to go to a war. We don't know it. But those guys in the Middle East, I have to say, kudos. They're not afraid to die, and that's what gives them the super weapon that I don't think many other countries have.